The bullet stops 3 inches from your face, not because it hit something, not because the shooter missed, it just stops, hanging in the air like a frozen teardrop. You can see the rifling marks on the copper jacket. You can smell the burnt gunpowder. The man holding the gun pulls the trigger again. Click, he's out. His eyes go wide, then he runs. You don't chase him, you just stand there in the alley, staring at the floating piece of lead, and your hands are shaking. But first, let's rewind 12 hours. Your alarm goes off at 6:15. Same as every Tuesday. The ceiling has a water stain that looks like Uruguay. You've named it. You roll out of bed, and your left foot lands on a Lego your nephew left last weekend. You don't yell. You don't even flinch. The pain is there for half a second. Then it's gone. Completely gone. Like someone hit a mute button on your nerves. Weird, but you're late. Shower. Coffee. Toast. The butter knife slips and should cut your thumb. You watch the blade press into your skin and nothing. Not a scratch. No blood. You hold your hand under the faucet and run it over the edge of the sink, hard. Same thing. Your skin doesn't break. It doesn't even turn red. You tell yourself you're dreaming. Pinch your arm. You feel it, so not a dream. Something else. You work at a print shop. Copies, laminating, binding. Mrs. Patterson comes in every Tuesday with 200 pages she needs stapled in the corner. You staple them. But today, when you reach for the stapler, it moves. 6 inches to the left, on its own. You pull your hand back. The stapler moves again, toward you this time. You look around. No one's watching. You stare at the stapler and think, "Come here." It slides across the counter and bumps into your elbow. Mrs. Patterson doesn't notice. She's talking about her cat. You hand her the pages and she leaves. You spend the next hour moving paper clips, pens, a full ream of cardstock with your mind. By lunch, you can lift a chair. By break, you can hold a broom horizontal in the air. You're not touching anything. Your hands are in your pockets. You leave early, drive to the same empty lot from every coming-of-age movie. The junked cars behind the old factory, a rusted Honda Civic, no wheels, no windows. You stand 10 feet away and push. The car rocks on its frame. You push harder. It slides 6 feet across the gravel. You pull. It comes back. Then you try something stupid. You lift. The front end of the car rises off the ground. 2 feet, 3 feet. Your head starts to throb. A trickle of blood from your nose. You drop it. The car crashes down. You wipe your nose. The bleeding stops immediately. No bruise, no headache, just the taste of iron in your mouth. You don't tell anyone. Who would believe you? Your mom calls. You say everything's fine. You hang up and stare at your hand and try to make it glow. It doesn't. Try to shoot something. Nothing. Try to fly. You jump off your bed and hang in the air for exactly 0 seconds. So, telekinesis. That's it. Just moving things. Disappointing, honestly, but you practice. Every night after work, the Honda goes from sliding to floating. You spin it slowly. You pull the doors off without touching them. You learn to feel the weight of things before you move them. Like reaching out with a hand you never knew you had. 3 weeks in, you stop a mugging, not because you were looking for trouble. You were walking to your car when you heard a woman say, "Please," in a way that didn't mean please. You turned the corner. A guy with a knife. A woman backed against a wall. You didn't think. You just reached out with that invisible hand and yanked the knife out of his grip. It flew 30 feet down the alley. He looked at his empty hand, looked at you, ran. The woman said thank you. You said nothing. You walked away, and something in your chest unlocked. You start going out at night, not in a costume. Just dark clothes, a hood. You listen for sirens, for shouting, for the sound of something breaking that isn't supposed to break. A car accident on the freeway. A car on its roof. You lift it off the family inside before the first responder gets there. A bar fight spilling into the street. You pin 3 men to the wall with an invisible hand and hold them there until the cops arrive. A fire on the 4th floor of an apartment building. You stand on the sidewalk and pull a woman out the window. Gently. She floats down like a leaf. The news calls you the ghost. No one knows what you look like. No one knows how you do it. You like that. 6 weeks in, you find him. Rooftop downtown. A man in a long coat, standing at the edge, looking at the city. You feel something before you see him. A pull. Like two magnets in the same room. He turns around. He's older than you, 40s. Tired eyes. But his hands are steady. I felt you the first time you lifted that car, he says. There aren't many of us. You don't speak. Don't worry, he says. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to warn you. He pulls up his sleeve. His arm is covered in burn scars. Every time you use it, it costs you. Not today, not tomorrow, but it adds up. The blood from your nose? That was the first bill. There will be more. You ask who he is. Someone who didn't get the warning. He says. He lifts his hand. A chunk of concrete the size of a fridge tears out of the roof and hangs above your head. I can crush this building with a thought. And it will take a year off my life. Everything has a price. He drops the concrete. It lands an inch from your foot. You've been saving people, he says. That's noble. But every time you pull a knife out of the air, every time you lift a car off a family, you're paying with minutes you don't have. The question is, how many are you willing to spend? He walks to the edge of the roof. One more thing, he says without turning around. There are others like us, and some of them don't care about the price. Some of them are happy to spend everything they've got. When you meet one of them, and you will, you won't be able to save everyone. Then he steps off the roof. You run to the edge. He's gone. No body on the sidewalk. No sound of impact. Just the city below, still moving, still loud, still full of people who have no idea that every time you stretch out your hand, something inside you breaks just a little bit more. You go home. Sit on your couch. The TV is off. The apartment is quiet. You look at your hands. No scars, no blood. Same hands you've had your whole life, but you feel lighter. Not in a good way. In the way a candle feels lighter after it's been burning all night. Your phone buzzes. Your mom asking if you're coming to dinner on Sunday. You type yes and hit send. Then you sit in the dark and you wonder how many Sundays you have left.